What is up, everybody? It is Life's Apprentice. Today we have Eric here. He is a local subscriber, and he hit me up on through the email and wanted some consulting, had some questions, and I didn't even realize he was local. He's only like an hour and a half, 2 hours away, and I said, come on up and you can run with us for a day. So he's going to be running dumpsters with us today. We're going to be showing him around. He has a whole bunch of questions, and it is the Friday before the 4th of July, so it is a very busy day today. And we're going to try to get all the dumpsters out and make us look good for YouTube here. This is the engine that basically, this is the heart and brains of everything. These little Honda engines are just really good.
They're unbreakable.
Yes, yep. And so you got your choke, fuel, this will turn your fuel off. We never do. And then it's electric start, which is nice too.
Does that run off a battery here, or is it connected to the vehicle?
It's got its own battery.
Yeah, there's a battery.
Right back there.
It's just like one of those little, like a motorcycle battery.
Sure.
Basically.
It's a hydraulic pump. It's the engine's using motorizing the hydraulic pump, so you got a manifold to operate everything.
Yep. And then there's manual here in case, like, this is for the remote, which we have a remote. We'll show you. But these are the manual ones.
So in case the battery goes or you lose it or whatever.
Yeah. Well, and if the battery, there is a pull start. So we've had issues with them in the winter.
With the remote.
Yeah. And that just charges with a phone charger. But we have had issues. What was it? A button or something didn't work, yeah. Chelsea, and we had to manually bring it down.
Yeah, well, Kevin had to show us how to.
Where's the hydraulic reservoir?
There really isn't much of one that I know of. I mean, these cylinders you'll see when we have a dumpster off. Yeah. There's 4 of them. They're gigantic.
Well, and that's, I didn't want a scissors one.
Yeah.
Because those are crap.
Yeah.
The dual on each side and these are huge.
Yeah.
Netherlands, 26 weeks out for trailers and containers for me. I got a quote for them.
Yeah.
And then all the other ones are like 14, 12 weeks. So I'm like, and they're also $13 less expensive for a set of 3.
They are less expensive, but you will pay for it. And if you look at it, and if you look at how they're built, I mean, I can just tell when you just look at how they're built, you'll be able to just tell that it's more
just the cylinders
superior. The other thing that is invaluable, pay the extra money. But this also runs off the battery. So right here, if you look, this is what runs it. To turn it on and off, you just hold both buttons for like 5 seconds.
Okay.
But this will run off the battery.
I saw guys hopping up there and doing all, walking up there. I got a bum ankle right now, for example. I sprained my ankle. There's no way I'm going to walk up there.
And this is a 15-yard. The 20 yards are even taller. The 20 yard is
There's
up
no way.
here.
That's just not smart. Not safe, not smart.
So, and then you have...
I do like your new decals.
Yeah, this is one of our older ones. Yep. And then you have just way better tires. These are not semi-tires, but they're close. They are expensive. They're like $250 a piece. But these are just going to hold up, a lot better.
And so you can without a jack, you can use this trailer to lift it up off the ground and change the tire then.
Exactly.
And that was one huge advantage too, I could see.
Yep.
With this system.
Basically, you'll just run the stingers down, and we can show you when we're at the yard or something like that. But yeah, you can lift the entire trailer up.
That's huge. Do you keep a spare tire with you at all times?
Yep.
For the truck?
So every truck has a spare.
You got a spare for your truck as well? I mean, for your truck as well, and for your trailer?
Yeah. So we have the spare for the trailer. Yeah. And God, them things are heavy.
Do you have tools for that, or?
We have a breaker bar in. And then
to get you going.
Yeah, and you don't need a jack. Yeah. But I tell the girls, if they're on the side of the highway, call somebody.
Yeah.
It's not worth it trying to fix it yourself. And there's, tire guys out there, they'll charge you a little bit, but again, it's a tax write-off, it's a safety issue, And then under here, we have a full-size spare. I mean, pretty much any truck is going to have that. And then inside the truck, you have your standard jack and... little tire iron and stuff like that. But in general, we don't have problems with the truck tires. It's the trailer. Because the trailers, when you're backing up to a job site or the dump, the trailer goes first. So if there's nails in the way, The trailer gets them. Yeah.
What about? I was looking at a gooseneck versus a tongue pull.
Yep.
Is there? Do you have both, or just have the trailer?
No,
and
we
tongue?
just have the bumper pull, but Nedlands
pull.
makes a gooseneck attachment, so
Yeah.
you could always add one. Like say you got like this, you
Yep.
could always add one.
Later on.
I think the biggest problem with the gooseneck, now I don't have any experience with it, the biggest problem is going to be visibility when you're backing up to dumpsters. And you'll see, I mean, we can jackknife the crap out of this thing.
Sure.
And we can get it into really, really tight spots.
A lot of my questions rotate around the fact of getting a truck to haul the trailer with the weight down there, because they add in the tarp system, the spare tire, the gooseneck, the weight of the trash container, and the trailer. It adds up to be like 14,000 pounds. And I was wondering if that was accurate.
We weigh about 15,000 with this truck. The other one's about 16. But this is a newer one, so it has the aluminum body, and the diesel has the steel body. So it's about 1,000 pounds more. The diesel also has a topper.
Sure.
Which adds weight.
Well,
we are in Osh Vegas. So the other thing that Nedlands does, which is different than normal, is you have mechanical advantage on the winch. I forget what you exactly call that. The other thing is you'll notice on like those Max D's, they have the winch at the top, but that cable has like an 8-inch travel, and that'll mess you up.
If we need the write-off, which with this business we shouldn't, this truck being a write-off is a big deal because it's a big write-off.
Yeah.
So he'll depreciate it, and we put so much money in gas that it doesn't even
And
matter.
the other thing is we've tried to kind of keep the miles off of this one. So this has more or less been our backup truck, I guess.
Okay.
We're trying to put miles on the other one and save this one until we absolutely need it. Now some days we don't have a choice. We need both of them.
Well, this
has what, 11,000?
Almost 11.6.
Okay.
Yeah.
This is one of the biggest expenses in your business. So you pay for the purchase price and then the operation.
Yes. Yep.
You know,
But ultimately, I mean, this thing is, we've had no maintenance.
Well, yeah.
The other one, we've spent thousands in maintenance this year and downtime.
Now I'm down in Madison, still working for a corporation, and I have opportunities that I'm trying to figure out here and researching to get into something completely different. You know, call it midlife crisis, whatever you want to, but I'd like to change it because I've solved the problems out there 20 different times, 20 different ways, and there's nothing much of a challenge anymore, which is the reason why I'm looking for an alternative.
Sure.
And, you know, getting outside, I'm sitting at a desk all day long. So, looking for something. And I appreciate your opportunity to do this, so thank you very much.
No problem. Anytime.
It's something that I think is very wise to do, especially, you know, to get a chance to spend some time with you and ask you just fun questions and get your honest feedback.
Yeah.
So I appreciate your videos too, where you're just telling how it is. You're not trying to make it sound like you're going to make $1 million the first time in the first year, and you're going to be super successful. And I think you can make this what you want it to. If you want to have, you know, 50 dumpsters and have a business, have employees, you can do it. And I'd like to ask you if you could do it with, like, you know, maybe 10 dumpsters.
Right.
And just, you know, do it not by yourself.
Right.
And then have free time to do other things in life. So I'm trying to gain some experience there.
I think this is a really good business. Obviously, what got you interested in it? Was it YouTube or just like?
I came across a YouTube video. It wasn't you initially. And, and then I just started searching more, and then you came up real quick. Then I found out you're local, and then I just started watching more and more of you.
Sure.
I really like the idea that, you know, I'm debating whether or not to get into it, so I'm doing all the research.
Right.
And I'm understanding all the costs and everything else. So if I do it the way I want to, which is with limited debt, I don't know how much debt I want to take on with it. But if I can do it with limited debt, not question regarding trucks and, you know, the trailer.
Right.
You know, I can't find used stuff out there. I've searched and I can't find anything used.
You want to know why that is?
Yeah.
It's because everyone who has it is making so much money. They don't want to sell it.
Yeah.
No, that's part of it, is the people that have it are kind of a rare breed. It's becoming more popular now as these other companies, Texas Pride, Max D, are coming out with these. It's becoming more popular, but ultimately nobody's been doing this for, I mean, people have, but you just never hear about them. You don't know about it. And the people who have these trailers, they're indestructible. They don't get rid of them. They keep them. I know the old owner of this business actually did sell one, and it's down by Rockford. And he sold it with one dumpster. And when was it? Like last year, we got a call. So the guy never even changed the sticker on it because they wanted a dumpster in Rockford, which you know where Rockford is.
Yeah.
They wanted a dumpster in Rockford, so we got a greenhead trailer and a dumpster down there somewhere floating around. Yeah, in the wrong area. But the old owner sold. That was 10 years old, the dumpster and the trailer, and brand new. It would be worth about $34,000.
Yeah.
He sold it 10 years old in, fairly rough shape for $28,000. So they hold their value really well too. So buying a used one is not probably even worth it at that point. To save yourself $5,000 or whatever it is, you might as well just go buy a new one.
You just gotta wait 26 weeks.
That is, but they're all custom built just for you.
Yeah.
It's not coming off an assembly line like the Max D's and Texas Pride and stuff like that.
There, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I've seen how they're built. We're having one built right now. Another trailer.
Yeah. So 26 weeks will happen.
Yeah. But it's worth the wait. I'm telling you. I mean, if you're serious about this, especially, I mean, it sounds like you're not trying to do this part time. You want to maybe start part time, but your end goal is to create a business where you can quit your job.
Yeah, exactly.
So buy the right stuff.
I gotta start. Team members, are they 1099 employees or are they
W-2?
W-2?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Tim's a good friend of mine. He used to be my neighbor. Now I moved a few years ago, but a really good friend of mine. He owns his own handyman business.
Mm-hmm.
So I would give him handyman type phone calls, and then when his customers needed roofing or siding, and we'd drink together and have fun, do that kind of stuff.
Sure.
So he has his own insurance and all that kind of stuff. So when we originally had Tim working with us, he was originally a 1099.
Yeah, that makes sense if he was already set up.
Yep, and he was only doing maybe 1 or 2 days a week at that time. And he's getting older too, so he's looking to kind of retire and settle down. He doesn't want to he does a lot of painting, exterior painting and stuff. He doesn't want to be going up and down ladders and doing all that crap anymore. Similar to me, so, I said, hey, Tim, it's a good chance for both of us to retire to another job. And he liked the idea. He's still doing it kind of part-time, but he's trained, he's self-sufficient.
Okay.
He's reliable, which is obviously very important.
Absolutely.
And now he is a W-2, but Laura's been a W-2 right from the get-go.
Yep.
Workman's comp, taxes, all that kind of stuff.
But, if I'm by myself, you watched all those phone calls you have, it's hard. It's hard when you're by yourself.
The phone was ringing while I was talking to her.
Yeah.
And she is just a jabbermouth. And it didn't even buy it. But that's what you got to deal with. That's what you got to deal with.
I'm like, where is he going? It says 9:15 in my schedule.
I'm sticking.
Sure. And I wish you
Tim's a little bit more camera shy. Yeah.
I wish
Hi,
you
Tim. How are you?
All right, I gotta get this picked up.
I'm Eric. Hi, Eric.
So this is the other trailer. Like I said, I don't know which one's newer. But you can see they're remarkably in about the same shape, really.
Yeah.
That noise you heard was her backing up to it. The other thing that's really nice about this winch system is you you never have to worry about it getting tangled or caught or anything like that. Whereas, like, if you have a roll-up winch, it's gonna get frayed, it's gonna pinch. I mean, if you've ever dealt with winches, you know.
A little bit, not too much.
Yeah. So, and because you're on gravel, it's not gonna roll off. So, he's driving forward as he's letting it down. Now, his stinger should be closer to the ground because this thing's gonna slam. But it's just a big hunk of steel. You know, you can't really mess it up. We have, remember I showed you those things that flip up?
Yeah.
So that one of ours is the same as a 15, but it's like this long.
Okay.
And then the new 10s that we got, we have 2 of these.
They are a little bit shorter, so.
Yes. But the reason I did that is because I thought it would be a lot easier for people to get things in over the side.
Yeah, it is.
And make it shorter and just more convenient for the customer. The biggest problem I have with it is the marketing on the side.
Yeah.
You see, that's as big as we could go. But then all of them have this rent me on them.
So is this a whole a whole set of labels for your whole thing? Like
these are separate. So those are like $100 a piece, and then these we bought like in packs of 100.
Okay.
The rent me, and then this. I have one here. We have one here, and we have one on the door. And I mean, it doesn't say everything, but gives you an idea. And then all of them are numbered. The 15s are 1501 2, the 20s are 2001 2.
This is freaking awesome.
And these are 1,000, and that's for Docket, which is the software.
Yeah.
Chelsea can show you that.
I also have a 1015.
Okay. I just want to show them the 20 quick, the new 20. This is where the marketing really pays off, is on these. I think. And I know that we get calls. It's hard to track, and it's hard to know how many calls you get. But when this thing's driving or sitting in somebody's driveway in the right spot, just imagine.
That looks, honestly, it looks great.
Yes.
It's easy to remember,
Yep.
and it tells you what you can offer. And, you know, some of these dumpsters are 13, 17, and 21 yards. That's freaking, stupid.
Why, you don't need that many sizes. You're
No,
giving the
well,
customer too many choices.
Yeah,
too.
no, I'm just saying this is
Yeah.
odd numbers. 10,
Yeah.
15, and 20 is much
Yep.
better for them.
Yep. Yep.
So,
Yeah.
oh, this is great, man. This is great.
So this is where we store them, and
How much do you pay for this?
this is kind of a lucky deal. I pay him more than he wants. He wants $100 a month. I gave him $3,000 this year, and I told him I'm going to bring some gravel back in here.
Yeah.
But he's also we're spending thousands of dollars maintaining, and
You're helping them out, yeah.
yeah. So he's doing that. But I think he probably gets $50 or $100 a month for each camper.
I hope he does.
So we take up a little bit more room. And this is how many dumpsters? 8?
Well, he's gonna appreciate it. He's gonna take care of you. He's
Yeah.
gonna
We have
help
28.
you.
So imagine if all 28 are here.
Yeah.
This whole thing is full out to here.
And he's gonna help your teammates. You know, when
Yeah.
they have an issue.
Yep. And somebody's here generally.
Yeah.
So I mean, we've had a little bit of issues with people coming and dumping into the dumpsters, where you'll take an empty and
Put it into gear.
yeah, she's trying to tell us something.
What other advertising do you do besides the signs on your or labels on your dumpsters?
Well, we do the hometown dumpster rental, which is a big one. I mean, we get probably 30 to 50 calls a month. We have a SEO marketing guy who we could actually hook you up with. His name is Ryan, and what he does is he's extremely strategic. So we have a really good footprint in Fond du Lac, where we are now, right? If you go to Google and look it up, Fond du Lac, we're number 1 and 2 and 3, right?
Sure.
So we're getting those calls. We own this market. That takes time or money. In this case, it's been time that has gotten us there. The old owner did most of that for us.
Messed that up big time.
So hometown's been a big one. And Now this Ryan guy, he's very strategic. So our dump, which you'll see, I think, a little bit here, is in Oshkosh. So we're trying to move into the Oshkosh market. We have really virtually no presence there. We get very, very few calls there. So he's very strategic about how he markets, and we have him specifically marketing us in Oshkosh. This is something that we started this year since we've added more dumpsters. Now we can afford to market more, because before we didn't need to market because we were just sold out all the time. So, and he's doing really, really good. What did he just sent us the May. He got us.
No, it's only half of June actually.
June.
Started June 11th, I think.
We got 34 leads from him in Oshkosh, in certain zip codes. The other thing that we've done in Oshkosh is Nextdoor. Have you heard of that?
I heard of it.
It's like an app on your phone for local contractors and companies. People will post community garage sales on there, and it's just a local way to connect in certain zip codes. So we've also used that for Oshkosh. And other than that, we really haven't done any real paid marketing. This truck and those dumpsters sell themselves.
Yep.
Some of it is name recognition, especially in Fond du Lac. In Oshkosh, nobody knows us. But just being out, having your dumpsters out in new areas and stuff like that, it takes a little bit of time, but it will work. But if you just have a random Joe Schmo can out, nobody knows. Nobody will ever know.
Sure.
They won't know. You have to differentiate yourself from the competition. Huh? Thing's like 6 feet long. Well, these are the neighborhoods you want. These people have money. They're not a flight risk or a payment, issue. And you see, I mean, not that this is like the most high end, but this is like the definition of middle, upper class. These are the customers you want. That's generally going to be household, right? Low weight, yep. Potentially quick turnaround. I mean, they have half this stuff ready. Can you see these? Yep. That locks it from sliding. We need some gravel. Well, if you can just imagine like this when the frost comes out in like March, oh, it is just a mess. It's a mess.
Freeze and thaw. And,
yeah.
Yeah. Well, and that's the other thing that's nice here. He plows it for us.
Oh.
So, and he puts the snow over here and over here, so he keeps the big piles out of the way. I mean, he doesn't, if we have an open spot with dumpsters, he'll actually plow through. Yep. And like the remote and all that, like the operation part is really pretty simple. You'll find that lining the dumpsters up, and if you're not just perfect, you'll find little tricks and things like that. That's just something that's going to come with time and experience.
Nice.
But I mean, you push a button.
Yeah.
Super easy.
Look at that. Oh.
You could always put a board under it if you needed to get higher.
That's huge. That's so huge.
I don't think the other dumpster
No.
trailers do that.
Not that I know of.
This winch, if it can't pull the dumpster, it will pull the truck to the dumpster. It is that powerful. Yeah? She can already tell just from experience it's heavy. That's another thing too that we haven't talked about. When you're, and I don't even know if she did it. When you're picking up a dumpster, check the door. Here.
Yeah, it's not the box.
So this is one of the things that I find gets damaged the most is this.
Yeah.
But you can use a hammer and just kind of, but yes, always make sure, because if she tips it like that and the door goes open and the stuff slides, you cannot get that door shut.
Oh, and if they close it, you know, they got to undo it all. You're leaving, right?
Yeah.
That happened with you
Well,
guys? Or
it's never happened where it was so bad
you couldn't get it
that we
closed?
couldn't, but it could. I mean, it could. So you always want to check. And I mean, you can see it's digging in,
Yeah.
and we really haven't
That
had a
was-
whole lot of rain, and
that
it's
was
not that
long.
wet,
Yeah, that
you know.
I see roofing nails over here, and
That's
yep.
that's where they come from. Most of them come from the dump. But I mean, you're on a construction site, so God knows, you know. It's like picking up that roofer's one when they're done,
Yeah.
you know. You can see the truck bounce a little bit. Now this,
Oh, here we go.
yep. So it goes up and down for the 20s. You don't have to, but it helps, and it's going to keep the tarp. It's going to keep the tarp higher, and then when she's done, she'll bring that back down and bungee it.
Are you able to repair the holes, or?
We have a replacement tarps, like these we need to replace. I found replacement tarps, they were like $200 just for the tarp. We've never replaced them, and I don't know how old these are. I bet you they're original. I bet you they've never been replaced. But the holes happen in these corners.
Sure.
So where it's rubbing,
Yeah.
that's what causes it. It's not so much the nails and the stuff in the dumpster. It is the dumpster itself, just over time. This one's really bad. I have replacements, and we really need to replace it. And that can be an issue, a safety issue, or a DOT issue too. You could get in, you know,
Okay.
the holes in the tarps. We've never been pulled over yet. Knock on wood.
I'm gonna come out there and smack you now.
She's jinxing it.
I need one of the fatter ones.
Yeah.
I have 3 of the same.
Okay.
There's one of the really long ones. It's a little bit fatter than this guy.
Yeah.
I need one of those. So it's even on both sides.
See, and this is where like,
Thank you.
Laura keeps a step stool.
Well, she used to.
She doesn't anymore?
No,
Oh.
because
She got one of those
hooks
little 2-step step
Sure.
stool ladders.
It makes a big difference in general. Especially
Monkeying
in
around
winter.
like this is a pain, you know? And like your bad knee or whatever,
Yeah.
it would make it so much easier to reach that where you're not.
And Laura usually hooks it as she's unrolling it.
So she'll actually hook this end on these as it goes.
Yeah.
You can't when you have to raise this up.
But I mean,
can't,
it's
am I missing?
you can reach it there, but if it's a little overloaded and like this doesn't hang over the side, it's different. So then,
Put them down here then?
yep. Well, some of them are going to be more tight than others. Like this one's more stretchy.
Oh, okay.
That one's probably good, but we will kind of
sure
cross
how.
them.
Wasn't sure how tight you want it to be.
Yeah, tight enough, and that's good. Some of them will go straight down. These ones are better for the 15s, and those thicker ones are better for these 20s. Like those thicker ones right there, on a 15, you're gonna literally have to go from that hole all the way to here, and vice versa. And at that point, you aren't having that downward pressure. It's more of a sideways. But yeah, this is important. That's a big liability if something falls out. I'm really happy you came. You're welcome back anytime.
All right. Well, thank you for having me.
Yeah, I am really excited for you to start. If you ever need help or
I'll keep you
anything like
posted.
that, you know where I am. That's it for this video. If you have questions for me or Eric, leave them in the comments. Hit the thumbs up button. Subscribe if you haven't. And we will see you guys on the next one.